Don't. There you. Okay, you're actually on.
Okay, good. Somebody phone in.
Okay.
It is.
So, do you travel the world playing poker, or do you only play in Mexico?
I play a tour called Latin American Poker Tour,
Right.
which is mostly, well, obviously in Latin America is in Brazil, Panama, Peru. What else? What else? Well, the PCA.
Right.
It's a date. What else? Argentina sometimes.
Right.
But that's pretty much it. To Europe and other parts, no, not really. It's way more expensive and the field is way harder.
Right. Right. So, do you ever play cash games in these countries? Like live cash games?
Yeah, sometimes.
Because this interests me. This actually does interest me. This because I was playing at the Bicycle Casino about 2 weeks ago, and I played in a game with two Mexican fellows, and they're from Mexico, and they said that there's a really good cash pot limit Omaha and no limit cash games in Tijuana. Have you heard about this?
No idea. I mean, what would you call like really good? Like what stakes?
Well, we were playing 10-20 pot limit Omaha. So, and they were sitting deep, like 7,000-8,000 deep. So I assume they're talking about sort of the same type of game in the 5-10, 10-20 PLO no limit range.
No idea about it. I know games, but in Mexico City, actually some of them are really, really huge.
Right.
Like I don't know, Bobby's Room, kind of huge.
Right.
Well, maybe not that much, but at least like 100K buy-in, something like that.
But wait, are you talking about 100,000 pesos? Because that's like $11
No.
or something.
No. Dollars.
Oh, dollars. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot. Because like people always go, you know how people always go to Macau and then they come back and they're like, yeah, I was playing 100, 200. And then you're like, wow, that guy was playing so fucking huge. And then later on you find out it was like 100, 200 Chinese yuans. It's like 100, 200 Chinese yuans. What the fuck is that worth?
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't report that way.
So then when somebody tells me they're playing 100, 200 in Mexico, it's like 100, 200 pesos. What is that, like $1, $2 or something? I don't even know what the exchange rate is. It's not that I care. I'm not impressed by stakes anyway, because I'm just a cash game grinder. I'm not impressed by that shit. I've been doing this job for so fucking long.
Yeah.
So in Mexico City, are these in casinos or are these private games?
No, private games. Actually, it's very difficult to get a seat. Well, I'm talking specifically in the one I'm telling you about.
Right.
Like, they have a rule like one professional per table, and you have to keep everyone happy, obviously. Right. So it's not easy to get a seat.
That sounds like your current boss is PokerStars. Do you work for PokerStars still or no?
Yep.
It sounds like they're going to a rule of one professional per table.
I guess so.
It's not a bad rule. I mean.
Well, yeah. I mean, one of the motivation was that the deposits were going in. Well, they were losing the money too fast.
Right.
And I guess as a professional, it's obvious it goes against your interest.
Right.
But I mean, it's not their job to cater to us.
Right. So let me ask you a little bit more. We're going to get into PokerStars since you probably have a pretty interesting take on it. But we'll stick with South American cash games. Do you think it would be possible for like a dorky white guy like myself to go down to South America and make a living playing cash games?
Yeah, of course. So, there are actually a few.
There's a few dorks down there?
Yeah, there's a few.
Now, so if I was going to go down to South, because this sounds sort of fun. Like, I'm married, obviously, and I'm not going fucking anywhere. But a lot of these guys, you know, they're young guys and they want to travel the world. What would be like the place where you would set up shop, or what would be the small tour that you would go on to play cash games in South America and Mexico?
Like to live a little for a while or something like that?
Yeah, like let's say you wanted to be in an area where there were lots of enough cash games that you didn't have to, you weren't going to get thrown out of one cash game and have no place to play, and the stakes are big enough to live a decent life. where would you suggest?
I think maybe Peru is a good place,
Oh, Peru.
and Costa Rica too. Actually, there was a law. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there was like kind of impending law coming to Mexico about the regulation of poker, kind of like our Black Friday.
Right.
But it still hasn't passed. I don't know. Mexican law is really weird. But so I was thinking about what to do, to either like move to live poker in Mexico or to move to another country. And my country of choice was Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Costa Rica is like amazing. It's probably of all Latin America besides Brazil that has the best like natural places, like I don't know, that kind of tourism.
Right.
And it has fast internet, and it's small. I don't know. It's like the perfect place. If anybody's thinking about like going to a country in South America, that's the place they should go.
Well, maybe I'm talking about cash games, like not playing online, playing cash games.
I know, but still, it's legal in Costa Rica.
Okay.
There are casinos. That's pretty much the first thing, because in many countries in Latin America, poker isn't legal. So, like in Mexico, it's not illegal, but it's not legal. It's kind of weird.
Right.
So you can really find, like, there are casinos, but more like, I don't know if you can call them casinos, more like gambling houses,
Right.
like are kind of have like a permit, but they're not real casinos. And that's the situation in many other countries. That's the situation in Brazil and many other countries. So you have to like know specifically which countries are it's allowed. Which is Argentina, it's Costa
Right.
Rica, I think Panama, and
So,
Peru, I
so
think.
what country have you played the most cash games in?
I played some in Panama, some in Peru,
Mm-hmm.
but that's pretty much it. Oh, I play in Brazil, but
So you just
I don't know.
suggested to the audience that they should play in Costa Rica, and you've never actually played there.
Yeah, but I know about the place.
But here's the thing, Jorge. This is the thing. The rake because I've been around the world. I've been to played in a lot of different countries that had good cash, that seemed on their face to be good cash games. But then once you see the rake is unreal in some of these countries. Do you have any idea what the rake is like in these games?
No, actually no. I played once in Brazil, but it was same in Mexico, not really legal.
Okay.
And the rake was insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The rake is fucking insane. How do you fucking beat the games?
Well, because the games are really soft, way softer than in Vegas, than in LA. Like, these people are mostly clueless.
Right.
So I think you can beat any rake.
Well, yeah, if the game is insane, like completely insane. But I mean, okay. Tell me about the game you played in, and then tell me about the rake, and we'll try and work our way through it, see what we think.
Let me think about it. In Brazil, it was, I told you, an illegal game. It's 25.50, no limit.
Mm-hmm.
And the rake was, I think it was 5% uncapped.
Ay.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
So, is it a 25-50 no limit game? People are sitting about $5,000 deep or $10,000 deep?
Yeah,
And-
and people were, but the thing is, people were calling like 30 big blinds deep with, I don't know, Jack 8 offsuit. Like 30, they're calling a 3-bet or a 4-bet for
Right.
30 big blinds with Jack 8 offsuit. So
Right.
I don't know. I haven't done the math how hard you can beat that game with that rake, but it's probably very beatable.
Well, I'm just thinking about it. I mean, if you sort of try and think your way through it. So, if they play a $10,000 pot, they're going to rake what, $500 out of that pot?
Yeah, I think so.
So, if the average pot in this game, where this crazy game is a few $1,000s, they're going to be raking a few $100s a hand.
Yeah.
So they're playing 30 hands an hour. They're going to rake at a few $100s a hand. They're going to rake $8,000 or $9,000 an hour.
I suppose so.
And you think that somebody's going to beat this game? Have you ever met anybody who's living off playing in this game?
No, because it didn't seem like a game that ran regularly.
Right.
Actually, we left the table because the owner of the place was playing with us.
Right.
And
The owner always plays.
yeah, the owner, and yeah, of course. And the dealer is he was the best dealer I've seen in my entire life.
Right.
I've been a couple of times in Vegas, and no dealer like came remotely close to
Right.
the skill of this guy.
Right.
He was dealing at this ridiculous speed.
Of
You know,
course,
like
because they
when
make
deal,
so much money.
yeah, makes sense. You know when they deal like I don't know, like they just like slide the top card,
Yep.
like just like barely touch it.
Yeah, European style. Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing it that way and so fast. And the owner was there, and there was a couple of I don't know strange bad beats. not really weird, but
Right.
it was a lot of money. Really skilled dealer, and we're like, I don't know, maybe we're getting cheated. I don't know.
So now, okay, so let me get this story straight. I asked you if you could play cash in in South America, Mexico. You said yes, definitely. Then your two examples are a country that you've never played a hand in and a game where you thought you were cheated. This story, the thread of your story of me moving down to South America and Mexico and becoming a poker pro is becoming very thin, Mr. Jorge.
Well, one is Brazil. I never tell you to go to Brazil.
Okay.
Costa Rica, I've never been there. That's true.
Right.
But also, like in Peru, for example, you want like a real life example. In Peru, I have a couple of friends who made a living from playing live cash gaming there.
Right. Okay.
And there's PLO, like, and there's a lot of limits there, like 510, 1020, and there are higher private games, but easy to get.
We got
Easy to get in.
a guy here named Alan Holdsworth says that he played in Costa Rica a lot. Small NL game, but a bigger PLO game in San Jose. Played in Lima, and the game is really good, but too small. All right. Some of the fans have played there.